Okay, so this is just going to be a quick anecdote on the question of how much sleep does a physics major get in terms of having to stay up late for assignments and study and all kinds of things, because that's a question I get asked reasonably often. So my personal take is that it's possible to go through a physics degree without doing all-nighters, because I have met some people who say they didn't do any. Maybe him. I did a few all-nighters, and it's mostly because of like what my personality was, which was that I would do it at the last minute, and it just worked for me at the last minute because everything was in my brain at the same time. And the only time I really did all-nighters was lab reports and handing in like a thesis, so like my honours thesis. I just stayed here for like 48 hours typing, and like probably the most tired or stressful time was during a course we did where we had to hand in a lab report every week, and so this is at least like maybe 10 pages of what you've done in an experiment every week. And for that course I probably did an all-nighter or at least a really late night every week, but otherwise like I would probably go to bed quite early and get quite a lot of sleep. So you can definitely do it if you manage your time.
Yeah,
what do you
so
think?
that definitely depends on your personality and how you structure your work. If you want to, you can just do all of your work in the morning. You can plan out how you're going to study, but I don't know many people at all who ever did that. If you do that, you can get all of your work done before 5 p.m. and just treat it like a 9-to-5 job. Someone like me who needs sleep to function, or they don't function at all, I would quite often, I could study up to 9-10 p.m. during exam time. For serious assignments or for exams that are really close together, I might stay past midnight to like 2 a.m. But then I could just go to sleep and wake up at 9 and get 7 hours of sleep and it'd be fine.
So like exams were a weird time, I think, because like the common sense advice is to get lots of sleep before an exam and make sure you're well rested and all this, but something about the nature of when you have like many consecutive exam days, that's not always so possible when you're still trying to, like, I don't know, cram information before the exam, which is also not an ideal strategy, but that happened quite a lot. And I would probably get like 5 hours sleep before an exam was kind of normal for me, because I would stay up till midnight studying with other people at uni, go to bed for 5 hours, and then study again from like 5 a.m. until the exam at 9 or something like that. I remember that schedule because that's what I used to do. But we had a friend or a couple of friends that would just sleep overnight or have a nap in the physics building, and then have breakfast at uni and walk to the exam. They maybe have like 15 minutes sleep all night. That sounds horrendous, but it happened and it worked and they got good grades.
That's
so
just
like,
what they could do.
they could do that.
Yeah, just sleep for 15 minutes, then walk into an exam and get an A+ or something.
Crash afterwards, but their mind was like so full of differential equations at the time that they could, it can work. So
Whereas my sort of studying technique was to wake up around 9 a.m, go into uni, and then just stay there until you want to go to sleep. You end up basically just living physics for about 2 weeks, and
yeah,
it's
exam time.
kind of horrific, but you do at least get to sleep, so it's not too bad.
Yeah, and when you finish your last exam, it's always like a release because you've been in that physics mindset just almost 24/7.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think there's a few different takes on this, but I think like what James said, you can get through it if you plan out your time, work 9 to 5 like a normal job. But there are definitely times I've experienced, and most people I know in physics, exam time especially, studying late at uni or in the library is what happens. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Thanks, James.
Yeah.